Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Atlas. I've been gone for quite a while, almost a month, if not a month. But as you can tell, I've been pretty busy trying to get hardware and software to do what I needed to do, and of course, setting all this up, trying to get a decent studio. But anyway, what I have for you today is I want to do a video on basically all the damning things that show how the books are being cooked with this whole ordeal that's going on right now. So let us also not forget that when the solution to an issue is worse than the original issue itself, it is no solution at all. Anyhow, on 4/7, the Department of Defense, the DoD, reported 7 deaths of employees. In gematria, 4 equals D, as in Department of Defense, and the 7 for the amount of deaths they've had, which is 4/7, or April 7th. Okay, so on 4/10, the Department of Defense reports a total of 13 deaths. So, 3 days later, they added 6 more deaths to their stats, which in turn leaves them with 3-6, right? 666. Anyhow, Honor Blackman of 007, Miss Pussy Galore. Not sure which 007 it was. I think it was Goldfinger or something of the sort that she was in. But anyway, she was in one of them, and she died on April 5th, which is ironic with everything that's going on and what you will hear if you haven't heard it already. But anyway, her father was a civil statistician, right? If you do not know what that is, Google it right now. Now, of all the things he could have been, and the timing of her death, I mean, right? This, along with everything else, here screams that the books are being cooked. I mean, the truth bomb hints are being planted everywhere. So, let's again bring to the table what I've been talking about, this new 007 film, since early this year, and how it felt like it was going to be something so important. For some reason, I thought it was going to be very important, and it turns out it has. It's played a huge role in a lot of things. So, so much so that I set to look out for the then original release dates, which are now changed because of COVID-19, but the original release dates I said to look out for, and for odd, crazy things to happen on them, possibly. Now, on 4/2, April 2nd, the original UK theatrical release date, there's a train wreck where the guy derails a train and tries to crash it into a hospital ship that was docked in the LA harbor. I mean, have you ever heard of such a thing? Who does that? The guy survived that derailed the train trying to crash it into the ship. And he said his reasons for doing it was there was a conspiracy and the ship was there for nefarious reasons. It was not there for the reasons that they said it was there for. And that was his reasoning. But anyway, the whole thing sounds like something out of a James Bond film in itself. And that's for the UK release, original UK release date of 007. The 25th film, mind you, which is 2 plus 5 equals 7. So, anyway, No Time to Die is the name of the new film, which still hasn't been released yet. Anywho, I mean, it's pretty ironic because the train wreck, that's a good way to describe this whole ordeal, don't you think? Because, I mean, goodness gracious, it is absurd. Absurdity. So, on 4/10, the original US theatrical release date for the new 007 film, there happens to be a record number of 777 deaths in one day in New York City. So there's that. Then we have the 420 happenings I spoke about in a previous video. I think my last video actually made, which was 3 weeks to a month ago. It's been so long. I apologize. Anyway, I mean, the date has 8 in its numerology. When added up, 4 plus 2 plus 2 equals 8. You know, 4 for April, 2 for the day, and 2 for 20, right? Excuse me. 4 for the month, 20 for the date, but the 0 does not count, so 2, and then you have the 20, and 2020, 4 plus 2 equals 8. So, as you can see, there's her 8. Now, I already made a video saying to watch out for 420, and then I posted all of the ridiculous things later that day in a comment that related to what I had said in the early morning. I mean, a lot of things in that video I spoke about early that morning ended up happening. I mean, things in common. They shared things in common. What I talked about shared things in common with what happened that day. Of course, there was the mass shooting in Canada, and I spoke about the oil spill, and then oil plunges to negative. You can't make this stuff up. I had said, and yeah, okay. Now, Trump and Gematria equals 88, which is again a number we are seeing everywhere. The Aryan nation uses 88 as HH for how, you know who. If you don't, look it up. As they're not really teaching many things in history books anymore. Anyway, as you can tell, numbers are used for a lot of things and by a lot of people. Toilet paper, even. Toilet paper and mind control both equal out to the exact same numbers in all 4 base ciphers in Gematria. Then, of course, they waited and waited forever to declare a pandemic with this whole ordeal of nonsense going on. And why were they waiting so long? We asked ourselves. We all knew it was a pandemic by by the stats they were providing. It was obvious it was a pandemic. The stats were real, but anyhow, I don't think they are. I mean, it's obvious that's what this whole video is about. Goodness gracious. Anyway, they waited and waited and waited. No pandemic, no pandemic from the WHO. And then finally, guess what? On 3/11 of 2020, they declared it a pandemic. And then we realized what they were waiting for. The 9th anniversary of the meltdown of Fukushima, the power plant. They decided to declare the pandemic on the 9th anniversary of that happening. And also 222 months exactly to the day from 9/11/01 to 3/11/20. It's been 222 months. 222. Now, in reverse ordinal, I believe it is. Reverse ordinal, let's see. Give me 1 second here, guys. I want to make sure I give you the correct. Yeah, and reverse ordinal, Chaim Marlo Suroff adds up to 222. This is a man who was born on the date of February 23rd, 1899. So his birthday was 223. And guess what? 223 adds up to novel coronavirus in gematria. But anyway, this time Arlo Suroff we've been talking about all throughout the GBC series. He apparently was assassinated so that Israel could live, and he just keeps popping up and popping up and popping up, and even his alternate name, Chaim Arlo Suroff, adds up to some strange stuff as well. It matches with other things that I will get into another video. I'm already making this video longer than I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be short. Anyway, if you've been watching all of the GBC series from the start, I apologize for repeating practically everything you already knew. But I wanted this all in one video, like I said, a short video. And I needed all this info in it. So I've got a lot more. I've got a lot more to talk about. Plenty more. I'm so far behind. It's ridiculous. I mean, I haven't made a video in like a month, but I've still got all the research and topics to talk about. You got the 2 dams that busted in Michigan. What a year this is. What a year. Craziness. Craziness everywhere. Every stinking where. Everywhere. Anyway, I will leave you guys with that. I will get back to you with more videos with updated information. I want to talk about this burst heart thing. if you haven't heard about it, or if you have, there's scripture on it I want to share with you. And anyway, this is Atlas. Thanks for stopping by, guys. You all have a lovely week. Take care and God bless. Atlas signing out.